Hi, welcome to my first video on Soul with Danelia. For those of you who don't know, my name is Danelia, and I started this channel out of a need of helping graduates and early career professionals find employment in South Africa. Now, this channel, you will see content relating to curating your CV, how to create a cover letter, interview prep, and much more. The intention here is to provide the average South African graduate or early career professional with tips and tricks to actually better their chances of securing employment. For my first video, I chose to speak on how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. So for those of you who are not familiar or are unaware, LinkedIn is used by 90% of recruiters around the world. So more often than not, when recruiters are trying to find talent, the first place they go to is LinkedIn, and I am here today to show you how to optimize your profile to increase your chances of being found by a recruiter. So for a lot of the examples and how-to or references I'm going to make, I am going to use my own LinkedIn profile, which you would see somewhere here. I don't know where I'm going to put it just yet, but it should be here. And I will make reference to so you know how to actually curate your own LinkedIn. So the first thing is be sure to put your name as you would on your ID or as it is on your driver's license. Avoid putting your name in caps lock. Also, it should also just be your name. Unless, of course, you're a doctor and you want to put Dr. Pillay as an example, then do that. But it shouldn't be Danelia Pillay and all my certifications in my name. It should just be my name. So when recruiters are searching for candidates for a potential position, they always search for the current role which they're trying to fill. So let's use software developer, for example. If you are an aspiring software developer, or you've been a software developer for some time, then you want your heading or your first intro line to be software developer at so and so. This way, when recruiters are searching, your profile is one of them that come up. Because if you have things like tech enthusiast or aspiring tech professional, it's very vague. So be intentional, especially with regards to the kind of career or role you're trying to transition into. So if you're a graduate and you want to be a software developer, your title should read software developer. So LinkedIn has this amazing feature for all users, not just premium users. You can actually add in external links. So for each professional, it would be a different thing. So if you're in tech, you're a programmer or developer or a data person, you might want to add in your GitHub link. So you can simply, in your settings, go and edit it and add your link. Sometimes you can add more than one. So in my case, you will see here that I have my link tree where I have all the relevant links. And then I also have my personal portfolio where potential recruiters might see the work that I have done. If you're a graduate or you're just looking to start your career journey, I would recommend you either have your personal portfolio or your website or your GitHub. So the About section in your LinkedIn profile is not a regurgitation of everything on your profile. It should be ideally short, about you, so that recruiters get the idea or essence of who you are as a working professional. So with mine, you can see that it says I am an HR professional with a background in psychology. So that background is reference to my education or my certifications. And then it says what I'm passionate about. So I'm passionate about young talent and helping the early career professional. And then I have a call to action at the end. So if you have ideas on helping graduates or getting them into work, let's connect, let's chat. Now for somebody else, let's say a developer, it might be I'm a software developer with a background in BSc computer science or information systems. I'm really passionate about building scalable solutions or solution architecture, and I'm looking forward to connecting with professionals who are in tech or really passionate about tech like myself. So in most cases, if you're a graduate or you're just starting to look for work, chances are you don't have any formal experience, and that is quite fine. But if you served as a tutor or you are part of a executive committee for a student society add it in so that recruiters can see what you have done even at school or at university. And aside from just adding it in, you might want to break it down even further to say, I was the head of the society, and these were the tasks and duties I was responsible for during my time as the head of the society. So adding in your education on your LinkedIn profile is very important because some recruiters look for a specific qualification. You want to add in the year you started the qualification and the year you completed the qualification. And I often see graduates making the mistake of thinking that when they walk across that stage with their cap and gown, that's when their qualification is complete. That is not the right thing. Your qualification is complete the year you write your final exams for your degree and when they tell you you've passed. So in this case, it might be December 2024. That's when your qualification is complete, and that's what recruiters want to know. They don't want to know the date of graduation. Licenses and certifications are also very important because just as much you may be pursuing your formal qualification or education through university, you might be pursuing certifications on the side. So for me, it was things like artificial intelligence or project planning and things that really interest me and would help me with growth in my career. But for you, it might be different. It could be if you are in tech, Microsoft certifications or AWS or anything relevant to your career. If you are an aspiring business analyst, it might be a certification from the IIBA. So always be sure to add that in as well, because at the end of the day, recruiters also look for people with specific certifications. It's not necessarily a must, but sometimes it's an advantage. Adding skills onto your LinkedIn profile is very, very important. So for me, you would see things like I have recruitment skills or compensation and benefit skills, naturally because I'm in HR. But for the tech professional or a professional in any other industry, let's use software developer as an example, you want to add the skills, tools, and programming languages you're proficient in. So whether it's C#, JavaScript, or you know how to use a project management tool, whatever it may be, add it in there. Because sometimes when recruiters are searching, so they search up software developer in the city of Johannesburg, and thousands of profiles come up, but this recruiter is actually looking for a C# developer. And so those who have C# in their profile, those ones will pop up. So you might be a really proficient C# developer, but because you didn't add it under skills on your LinkedIn profile, when this recruiter is searching, your profile won't even come up. So that is why skills is very important to add on your LinkedIn profile. So now I've covered the aspects of optimizing your profile, but I just want to share some general tips which I noticed that early professionals tend to make mistakes on this, or they're not too sure. So for me, I see a lot of I guess articles or comments or posts about open to work banner or not putting it on, and the truth is it really doesn't matter whether you have it on or not, because when a recruiter is searching for your profile, they want to know whether you have the skills or not. And they will approach you whether you're employed, whether you're unemployed. They need to know if you have the skills for the job they're looking to employ. As somebody who may not have any formal experience, but you're on LinkedIn and you want to try and stay active, you might want to add things like your milestones and achievements. So whether it's getting a Microsoft certification, or you won a hackathon or even attended a hackathon, those things are really, really good to add to your profile and post about, because the truth is you never know who's watching. And more often than not, tech recruiters are looking for young individuals who are active in the tech community. Be careful of the kind of content you engage in, you repost, or you comment on. Because to be quite honest, I've seen people reach out to me for jobs, and then very similarly, they would post things on their timeline which actually skewed my view of them. And there was one particular one where they were like, commented on this post saying that, yeah, all recruiters are going to hell. And I just thought to myself, well, then I guess I'll see you there too. But avoid saying things like that because it will skew not just, I mean, me personally, but a recruiter's view on, you know, your profile. You may have this really outstanding profile, or it may skew their view on who you are as a person as well. And also there's a really huge misconception in terms of who has the final say, because I'll tell you, a recruiter does not have the final say in the hiring decisions. It's actually the hiring manager. So I think also to clear up the differences, I'm the recruiter and I follow the process of posting the job ads, screening the applicants, making sure they meet the requirements, scheduling the interview, sending out the offer. But in terms of actual decision making, it is a hiring manager. So let's say I'm hiring a software developer, the hiring manager might be the head of software development. And they're the ones that have the final say, and they will tell me, hey Danelia, I like this candidate or I don't like this candidate for whatever reasons. So I am not sending offers here on my free will based on who I like and who I don't, because if it were up to me, everybody would be employed. But ideally, it's the hiring manager that makes final decision, and I have to follow through the process in sending out offers or rejecting candidates as well. So also, when you are active on LinkedIn, you also want to check who is viewing your profile. And connect with them. So sometimes people view your profile, it might not necessarily lead to a job opportunity, but it might be opportunities for other things like collaboration or exposure for yourself and your profile and what it is you do. So check regularly who is viewing your profile. For me, sometimes I get people or like this way it says 4 recruiters viewed your profile, and I often wonder where's the job. But those things happen, and you still want to continue to view and connect with people who might either help you or provide you guidance or mentorship. Not everything on LinkedIn necessarily leads to a job opportunity. So I often see how students or people who are new to LinkedIn, they don't know how to reach out to recruiters, or I guess anybody on LinkedIn for that matter. So here is just an example. So often you will see people with large followings, they have a follow button and not a connect button. But if you select the click more, you will see a drop down that will show you connect. And should the recruiter accept your connection, now you're able to message them or DM them. Because if you just follow them, then that option is not open to you. So if somebody has the follow button but you actually want to reach out to them, be sure to select more and then connect. Also, I see students and graduates making the mistake of connecting with everybody and sending everybody messages that they're looking for a job. I would strongly encourage that you investigate the person's profile to see if they're actually hiring, if they are a manager of some sort, because not everybody on LinkedIn can actually give you an opportunity or is the right person to contact for that matter. So watch the person's posts, see what type of content that come up from their profile. Sometimes you'll see that they are hashtag hiring, or they are offering some kind of advice or service. See what kind of content that this person posts before you actually reach out to them. 9 out of 10 times, recruiters are bombarded with messages on LinkedIn. Some are quite responsive, but others not so much. You would even see that they are active and they post, but then they just don't respond to DMs, unfortunately. And the truth is, before you reach out to a recruiter, go and look at the company that they're working for. Check the company's website, check the company's career page, and see if there are any vacancies there first. Because you don't want to fill up the recruiter's inbox for something that you could potentially find yourself. And oftentimes I get messages like, I'm looking for roles in this graduate program or this industry. And if I am hiring for those potential roles, I just send them the link to the career page in any case. There's not much more than that I could share aside from sharing the link to apply for these jobs. The second part is oftentimes we have this idea that reaching out to a recruiter will better our chances or they will remember us. If I am getting almost 10 DMs a day on LinkedIn, chances are I'm not going to remember you. One, And partly to that, I have my own expectations to fill. So even if you send me a DM and sure, I remember you, hey, this person reached out to me. If you don't meet the requirements for the job, I can't put your name forward to the hiring manager, because then they would look at me funny and be like, why are you recommending this person when they don't even have the required skills? So being very, very mindful of the fact that yes, you're looking for a job, but what about the person on the other? The other thing with reaching out to recruiters, please, it's maybe my pet peeve. I don't know if it's other people's pet peeves, but don't start the conversation with hello, how are you? And then nothing after that. Because, like, I can see your open to work banner, and then you're just saying hello, how are you? When there are 10 other messages that are like, hi, I'm so and so, I studied this, I'm in the market for this. Because it's not a WhatsApp conversation like with my friend, hi, how you doing? I'm good, how are you? What are you guys up to? It's not that kind of thing. So send your message with intention in terms of what it is you want, so you can get a quicker response in terms of what it is you're looking for, because recruiters don't have time for the small nitty-gritty. Hello, how are you? I'm good, how are you? What are you guys doing today? No, just get to the point. And I know people don't want to be, blunt and straightforward. I get it. But also be respectful in the sense, hi, I'm Danelia, I studied psychology. I've been seeing your feed and your posts and also the kind of work you do at your company, and I feel like I could really contribute. Here's what I'm good at. I'm looking for these kinds of roles. So now this potential recruiter knows exactly who I am, what I studied, what I'm looking for, and they can advise as to whether they have something for me, or even if they. So that brings me to the end of my first video. I am more than happy to receive comments and feedback in terms of how it went, what kind of content you're looking for, if I should change the way that I position my content, anything that you think would be better for you in terms of grasping and understanding. So yeah, I guess like, subscribe, stay tuned for more, and see you next time.